All right, we're doing something a little bit different today. It's been a long time since I've done any high school math. I'm also from Canada, so we don't do SATs up here. But here's an SAT practice test of math, no calculator. I think there's 20 questions here, so we're just going to go through it and I'll see how I can do. So first one, if x minus 1 over 3 equals k and k equals 3, what is the value of x? Apparently this is senior math, so we can just plug this in. X minus 1 over 3 is equal to 3. We just put k equals 3 in there. X minus 1 equals 9, multiplying both sides by 3. And then we add 1, so x is equal to 10. For I is equal to the square root of -1, what is the sum of 7 plus 3i plus -8 plus 9i? Wow, okay, we got an imaginary number in here. That's kind of nice. So we're just going to group together the like terms. So we're going to get -1 from 7 plus -8. We're adding 3i plus 9i together, so that's plus 12i. And okay, never mind, that was not as complicated as I thought it was going to be. Question 3. On Saturday afternoon, Armin sent M text messages for 5 hours. So there's 5 M messages, and Tyrone sent P text messages each hour for 4 hours. So there's 4P text messages from Tyrone. Which following represents the total number of messages sent by Armand and Tyrone on Saturday afternoon? Okay, that was just reading the question, setting it up, and the answer came from there. Kathy is a repair technician for a phone company. Each week she receives a batch of phones that need repairs. The number of phones that she has left to fix at the end of each day can be estimated with the equation P equals 108 minus 23D, where P is the number of phones left and D is the days she's worked that week. What is the meaning of the value 108 in this question? So P is the number of phones left. So you start with 108 phones and then you do 23 each day that you work. So you're starting with 108 phones to fix. Okay. Question 5. Which of the following is equivalent to the expression above? Okay, this is just simplifying. So we have x squared y minus x squared y. According to the first terms here, we have -3y squared minus, oh, sorry, we're subtracting this. So we're actually adding these together. We're -3y squared minus -3y squared. So that's plus 3y squared. So those are going to cancel. And then we have 5xy squared, and we're subtracting 3xy squared. So we should have 2x squared y squared plus 2xy squared. So that should be C. For 6, h equals 3a plus 28.6. The pediatrician uses the model above to estimate the height of a boy in inches in terms of age A between the ages of 2 and 5. So that's where 3a is coming from. Based on the model, what is the estimated increase in inches of a boy's height each year? So, is this not just the same as saying 28.6 divided by 3? And wouldn't that give us roughly 9.5? Am I misunderstanding something here? Between the ages of 2 and 5. So maybe what we're supposed to do is do height equals 6 plus 28.6 and then put a in for 5 here, which would be 15 plus 28.6. So this gives us 34.6. This gives us 43.6. If we take the difference of that, we're going to get 9, and then we divide by 3 per year. Okay, so I did simplify that a little bit too much. It should be A equals 3. All right, it's important to read the question and think about it even when you answer. The formula above gives the monthly payment M needed to pay off a loan of P dollars at R% annual interest over N months. Which of the following gives P in terms of M, R, and N? So this is just about taking this top equation and doing some cross multiplication. So essentially we're multiplying by this and we're dividing by that. So 1 plus r over 1200 to the n will be on top minus 1. And then we'll have our top things on the bottom. So it just looks like b from what I can see. We're not doing any cancellation because we have two terms that are being added to each other here. So this just looks like multiplying and dividing by the same terms to isolate p. Okay. 8. If a over b equals 2, what is the value of 4b over a? So this is just the same thing as 4 times b over a. And if we know that a over b is equal to 2, we can just do some cross multiplication to get that a over 2 is equal to b, which is the same thing as saying that 1/2 is equal to b over a. So this is just 4 times b over a, which is 4 times a half. That should be 2, which is c. What is the solution xy to the system of equations above? So if I was lazy, I would just be plugging in these values right off the bat. But what I do see is that I can multiply the second one by 3, and then I can do some subtraction. So we're going to get 3x plus 4y equals negative 23. And then we're going to subtract, or in this case, we can just add them because we have negative x. So we're going to add negative 3x. We're going to add 6y. Then we're going to add negative 19 times 3, which is negative 57. This will give us 10y is equal to negative 80. So y is equal to negative 8. The only one that satisfies that is b, but we should check to see that this works. So 2 times negative 8 plus, or I guess we're subtracting 3 here, gives us negative 16 minus 3, which is negative 19, and that satisfies that equation. So it looks like that worked. 10. Gx is given as ax squared plus 24. A is a constant, g of 4 is equal to 8. What is the value of g of negative 4? So we know that a times 4 squared plus 24, so 16 a plus 24 is equal to g of 4. This doesn't seem relevant to me at the moment. What is the value of g negative 4? Well, that would just be the same thing anyway, because if we put in g of negative 4, that's just going to be a times negative 4 squared, which is exactly the same thing because it would give us 16a plus 24. So if g of 4 is 8, that means that g of negative 4 should be the same thing, also 8. Man, this is really exercising a part of my brain I don't really use anymore. I'm much more in discrete math and linguistics than these kinds of numerical computations. Okay, in the equations above, B and C represent the price per pound in dollars of beef and chicken, respectively, X weeks after July 1st. What was the price per pound of beef when it was equal to the price per pound of chicken? So we're just making these two equations equal to each other. That equals 1.75 plus 0.4x. Okay, so we'll subtract 1.75 from the left to get 0.6. We'll subtract 0.25 from 0.4 to get 0.15x. Okay, now this is a pain because I'm dealing with fractions, so I'm just going to multiply each of these by 10 to make my brain work a little bit better. So 1.5x is equal to 6. We can divide both sides by 1.5. And what does that give us? Do I really need to do some sort of math here? This seems wrong. This seems very wrong to me. What have I done incorrectly? What I've done incorrectly is, I think I've thought too hard about this. I don't need to do any algebraic manipulation at all, because we know if we just put these side by side and we add the increases together, we'll get 2.7 and 2.15. We're going to get 2.95, 2.55, 3 point, we're adding 0.25 each time, so 3.2, 2.95, and then when they're together, we're going to get 3.45 and 3.45. So when does this happen? This happens in 5 weeks. What was the price per pound of beef when it was equal to the price per pound of chicken? Did I do some simple math wrong? I think I added, yeah, I made a mistake here. I added 0.35, so I'm point. I did the same thing here. It should be 3.35, but I don't want to retrace my steps because as a test taker, I'm lazy, so I'll trust my intuition. 12. A line in the xy plane passes through the origin and has a slope of 1,7. So the following points lies on the line. So 1,7 means that for every, well, for every 7 it increases to the right, it goes up by 1. So 1,7 should be the correct answer here because this is a very, very small slope increase as a fraction. But what I've done here is I've made a very stupid mistake in that it should be xy. So if we add another 7 and 1, we should get 14, 2. All right, so this video so far has been a lesson in error correction, which is good for test takers. It's good not to be lazy. If x is greater than 3, which of the following is equivalent to this monstrosity? Okay, well, this is going to be the same thing as 1 over, I need to take common factors, so this is x plus 3 times x plus 2 over each of these. This is not quite right, is it? It's been a long time since I've done something like this. Well, I'm going to trust myself here. So I'm thinking too much with fractions. 1 plus x plus 2 over 1 plus x plus 3. We simply cross multiply in this case. We multiply each by x plus 3 over x minus 2. So this is x plus 3 over x plus 2 times x plus 3. And we're adding x plus 2 over x plus 2 plus x plus 3. So when we get to this point, well, they're the same term, so now we can add them together. So we're going to get 2x plus 5 over, we'll FOIL out the bottom, so this will be x squared plus 6x, sorry, x squared plus 5x plus 6. And then because this is 1 over all of this, we're going to flip these two around. So that should give us b. Okay, 15, if ax plus 2 times bx plus 7 equals 15x squared plus cx plus 14 for all values of x, and a plus b equals 8, What are the two possible values for C? Well, this is super fun. Okay, so if we multiply the left, we're going to get AB. Is this... Okay, first of all, I need to stop and ask myself, is this a good approach to take? Multiply them out, see what we get. Yes, I do think this is a good approach for now. We'll get abx squared plus 2ax, sorry, plus 2bx plus 7ax plus 14. And this is equal to 15x squared plus cx plus 14. So at this point, AB is equal to 15, 14 is equal to 14. So really we're just dealing with the fact that 2bx plus 7ax is equal to cx. So we can factor out an x. We get 2b plus 7a is equal to cx. We can eliminate the x's at this point. So 2b plus 7a is equal to c. Okay, what are we supposed to do with this? We know that a plus b is equal to 8. All right. So, um, this is kind of embarrassing that I cannot do this anymore. But we can take some problem solving approaches here. Looking at the values of c. So if a plus b is equal to 8, and we have that 2b plus 7a is equal to c, can we rewrite this? Well, okay. If we know that a plus b plus a plus b, then we're going to have 5 a's left over, is equal to c. This is like saying that 16 plus 5a is equal to c. So we don't know what. Okay, well, it has to be less than, well, it could be higher. Let me retrace some steps here. Because well, 2bx plus 7ax is equal to cx. We know this is true. So 2b plus 7a is going to equal c. We know that a plus b equals 8, which gives us 16 plus 5a is equal to c. So 5a is equal to c in this case. Unless I've done some horrible multiplication done wrong. This should mean that c has to be a multiple of 16 plus 5a. And the only one that this works for is D, because 16 plus any multiple of 5 is going to end up with a 1 or a 6 in the ones digit. So it should be D. Oh, I missed 14. If 3x minus y is equal to 12, what is the value of 8 to the x over 2 to the y? Okay. This is interesting. Interesting. Well, what I'm tempted to do is just test values, but I don't quite have that approach. I don't want to take that approach. So h to the x. Okay, well, let's just see what we can do with this. So I know that 8 to the x is the same thing as 2 to the 3x divided by 2 to the y. So if I know that 3x minus, well, let's just configure this even more. 2 to the 3x divided by 2 to the y is going to be the same thing as 2 to the 3x times 2 to the negative y. And we can take those together to get 2 to the 3x minus y, which is just 2 to the 12. Okay, that wasn't so bad. It's been a while since I've used exponents. Question 16 to 20, answer with, it looks like numbers. I don't have a grid sheet, so we'll do that. If t is greater than 4 and t squared minus 4 equals 0, what is the value of t? So t squared is equal to 4, so t is equal to plus or minus 2. But t is greater than 0, so actually it's just positive 2. In summer camp, okay, we want to find some lengths, so AB is 1800, EB is 1400, BD is 700, and CD is 800. Okay, these angles are the same, which means we're basically looking at equivalent triangles here. So this should just be 1600 because this is just going to be twice this because this line is twice that. All right. 18, what is, according to the system of equations, what is the value of x? Okay, well, we can just subtract the bottom one from the top one. So x minus x is nothing. Y minus 2y is negative y. Negative 9 minus negative 25, so that's plus 25 is 16, so y is equal to negative 16. So x minus 16 is equal to negative 9, which means that x is going to be 7. In a right triangle, one angle measures x, where sine x is equal to 4 over 5. What is cosine of 90 degrees minus x? Oh no. What do I know about cosine? So what's happening here is this is a shift from sine. It's 90 degrees. So this should just be the same value. Just be 4/5 because we're just shifting the graph over. Cosines like that, sines like that. It's just a matter. Sorry, that was a horrible drawing of sine. So if cosine is like this, sine is like that. I should make this line up a little bit better. Uh, it's not going to get much better, but it should just be the same point in time. Okay, if a equals to 5 root 2, 2a equals root 2x, what is the value of x? Okay, so 2 times a, so 10 root 2 is equal to the square root of 2x. So we just square both sides. That's 100 times 2 is equal to 2x. So 200 equals 2x. So that should just be x is equal to 100, right? All right, that's it. That was 24 minutes. I don't know how much time I had to do that section, but that feels like a very long time to be doing this. So I have an answer key. Let's see how I did. And hopefully won't embarrass myself too much. Okay, so where is this key here? The math. So for no calculator is a 1, D, A, C, B. Yeah, that page wasn't too bad. C, A, good thing I double checked that. B, 8 is C, 9 is B, 10 is A, 11 is D, 12 is also D. Good thing I checked that too. 13 is B, 14 is A, 15 is D. So I don't think I did it the right way there, but we did some creative reasoning after getting stuck and figuring that one out. 16 is supposed to be 2, 17 is 1600, 18 is 7, 19 is 4/5, and 20 is 100. So, yeah, we got 20 out of 20 here in 24 minutes. That was, you know, we do our best sometimes, and it's humbling that something like an SAT for high school kids is still somewhat like thought provoking after not doing this kind of mathematics for quite a long time. So that was 25 minutes for 20 questions. Now, I did explain and talk while I did it, but that still shouldn't have taken me that long. So, TrevTutor teaches discrete math, linguistics, some other stuff online. But let me tell you, when TrevTutor comes to high school mathematics, he sure takes a while to figure out that stuff. So I hope you enjoyed a different type of video. And I don't know if I'm going to do another one of these in the future. It seems pretty humbling.